Hey everyone, CPAT here with another Exceed commentary. This is going to be game 3 of the set between D and Zain. It's a funny thing, I realized I had like 25-30 minutes to do a little bit of a post-com here. This is a post-commentary. Thank you to Mix for supplying the video. So I realized I had like 25-30 minutes to do a post-com, but that second game ended up being really long. It's like a 40-minute video or something. So you know what, screw it. We're going right to game 3. Just a little bit behind the scenes. So actually, I have not seen game 2. Looks like D will be on the Merkava versus Zain on the Orie. Let's see if Zain knows the true Orie strats of turn 1, the turn 1 veil off Orie. If he does, then we'll know that Zain is in fact the chosen Orie player. I guess technically he could not draw the turn 1 veil off, but let's see. I don't know. I'm preaching it to the choir. I'm preaching it to everyone. Everyone needs to know that turn 1 veil off Orie is the strat, but no one believes me. That's okay. But let's see if Zayn knows. Looks like they're doing a coin flip again. Weirdly enough, like the rules never said how to do coin flips. I guess because this is more of a casual tournament, so we're like whatever. But okay. So we're gonna have Orie against Merkava. So Merkava is a pretty slippery character that can thrive, from far distances. But Orie is low-key one of the best game closers, or not game closers, gap closers in the entire game. I mean, she has Divine Thrust, she has an anti-fireball ultra, that closes on hit, I believe. She has aerial leap. Like, she's all these tools that allow her to just kind of close distance on Merkava quickly. So this should be an interesting matchup for sure. Looks like D will be going first on that Merkava, and Zayn will be going second on that Orie. Orie keeps 4 cards. One of those has to be the focus, surely. It looks like Merkava goes for the turn 1 veil off. So Merkava's front side makes his advances or retreat, dependent on top of deck, whereas the backside makes them dependent on the gauge. So you lose variance on the movement as Merkava. You are spending gauge, but you lose the variance, and also you kind of stop leaking hand information because, of course, that card is revealed. So at the end of your turn, if you reveal a normal, for example, well, that card can get read. So D says, I'm not dealing with that now. We'll go for the turn 1 veil off Merkava strats. Let's see Orie follow suit here. Come on, Orie, you can do it. Come on, Zayn. Let's see it. Oh, actually, turn 1 boosting Luminous Embrace is actually really weird. Because that, like, hard telegraph succession, which is such an easy card to beat. And that Luminous Embrace, you really want that ending up in your gauge because it's a hit effect. I don't understand this. I'm sorry, I don't understand this at all. Like, Merkava has Coffee to deal with this. Merkava has Drill Through to deal with this. Merkava has another Dive Like to deal with this. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, I don't understand this at all. And on top of that, you drop your Luminous Embrace, which means it can't go into gauge, which means when you exceed as Orie, that 7 power option is just so strong. And we're already losing that turn 1. As it looks like, okay, Merkava opts to flip back, and then boost Assault. Interesting. Okay, so D just used the focus once, and then said, okay, that's enough for me. Let me flip back to regular Merkava. As Orie will cross over. Merkava will use the frontside UA now. Reveal that cross to backstep 3. As Orie now boosts light. Of course, all of her on top of all the movement that we talked about earlier, Orie also has advance or retreat 1 on all of her boosts. So yeah, this character cannot be kept out, as deflection gets boosted from Merkava. So Merkava's saying, okay, I think I'm going to be faster than you, and then outtrade you afterward. With the boost on deflection being hit, gain power, gain armor equal to the amount of power you have, I believe is the exact wording. Anyways, back to Orie here, who does have half of the superior boost online with +1 power, +1 speed active. Let's see if Orie chooses to strike here, because she's, I mean, both players are like about even as far as stats are concerned. I mean, Merkava has auto EXs, but Orie can, in theory, initiate with an EX. Although if Orie is initiating with like EX Assault, you definitely want to probably save that for defense anyway, so you don't initiate with that. So just taking a look at that eye rampage, I believe that's the deflection boost. I hope it is. I mean, Mix hasn't zoomed in on the card, so we can't really 100% tell, but I'm like 99% sure that's +1 power, hit, gain armor equal to your power. Zain just thinking here about what to do here, how to deal with the EX boost. Because like in theory, like the fastest thing that Merkava can throw out is like speed 7. He can throw out a speed 7 coffee. Looks like no, Zain boosting another divine thrust. So +2 power, +1 speed. Has moved a bunch in the process. Scariest thing would be like an EX cross as Merkava reveals focus to fly to the other side of the board. I mean, Zain like really telegraphing that he doesn't want to be at range 3 by boosting that +1 power, so Merkava just says, okay, I'll fly over. Focus is a card, however, that can be read. Let's see if Zain has the reading on the dive and the punish for that focus. So like a spike would be very, very strong here. If Zain has spike dive, then he is in business. No, Zain boosts respect, moving to range 1. Now has 4 continuous boosts out in play. Any boost fans, eat your heart out, because we're in season 6, but we are still boosting here, as I have now entered the room from the past. Unfortunately, I don't think I can actually voice chat here with Mix. I think I was just checking out the digs and seeing what was going on. As Merkava initiates that range 1 strike, notably the fast threat here would be I Defile at speed yes. I think it's like speed 9 I Defile. Would only be 3 power, but then gains 3 armor afterward. That's like the level 0 play. Can also be like a slow in theory. Although Merkava is facing like +2 power, I believe. Let's see what Zain was threatening here with the. Oh no, Zain's wild swinging. Oh my. I guess Zain just wanted to be as close as possible. Pulls the second Luminous Embrace. Backside Dreams of Orie are now officially dead with both the Luminous Embraces gone. Oh no, it's gone from bad to worse. As that Luminous Embrace is swept out. No value achieved from these 3 boosts that Orie has put into play. 4 boosts even if you count the respect. And has to spend even more force just to not take damage here from the 8 power sweep. Discards a second ultra. That's the 1 rest in peace gone, and takes the 2. That is just that's an unfortunate wild swing, but that is just unfortunate circumstances from Zain having to being forced to wild swing at range 1. Orie has a lot of good cards that work at range 1. Cards like To Me Command Order. Cards like Stealing Hoplon, which ignores guard at range 1 to 3. Unfortunately, Zain just had to wild swing there, and it was really unfortunate. As now D boosts his second normal as the second copy of Superior. Zain shifting his cards, looking like he's maybe setting up for an EX. Nope, Zain opting for the mix-up. Will close 1 and play an EX from hand. That's interesting. So he basically shuffles the spike, says, "I don't need the spike. Let me just replace it. Let me just replace it real quick." So Ceiling Hoplon is what Mix thinks this could be. I don't think we've seen one yet. We haven't seen a To Me command order either. We've seen Grass, we've seen a Cross, so like fast options are not there. Could be. Well, let's see. Oh, it is the Ceiling Hoplon, but caught out by the EX Focus because guess what? Ceiling Hoplon only does 3 damage. So this focus will have 3 armor, and this is why we like backside Orie, people. This is why we like backside Orie, because those Ceiling Hoplons become 1 to 3 5/3s that don't lose to EX Focus. I'm gonna yell it from the highest hilltops, man. Fail off as Orie, otherwise you're not gonna do any damage, and you're gonna get caught by you're gonna spend your good cards like EX Ceiling Hoplon. EX Ceiling Hoplon is fantastic, such a good card. As Merkava wild boosts that I persistently cling, moving back. Zain with the second copy of Respect, moving to range 3. Listen, man, Ceiling Hoplons as 1 to 3 2/3/2s ignore guard. That's not the way to go, man. That's not the way to go. Please, everyone, veil off as Orie. Please don't play frontside Orie. Or if you do play frontside Orie, like don't do it like that. As the Eye Defile comes out, oh, we'll trade nicely with the sweep. Very well done by Zain there. EX sweep even. So this Eye Defile is a 1 to 8 3/8. Pretty nasty stat line, but gets hard countered by the EX sweep. Zain should have only taken 2 damage there. I believe he did. And will deal 7 back. Pulls the block out of Merkava's hand as well. Good start for Zain as far as damage is concerned. Was really starting to fall behind, but well read there from Zain as he opts for another prepare action. Shifting his cards again, like he's gearing up for an EX. As we see second copy of Respect boosted from Orie. I guess I was wrong on that. I guess Orie hadn't boosted a Respect before. As here comes the Wide coming out from Merkava. +1 range. Now advance to retreat 1. Good boost. Honestly, good boost. We're zooming in on Aerial Leap command, Aerial Leap and or no, we're just zooming in on Orie's kit for EXs that could be troublesome maybe. We're looking at Orie's kit of Silver Bullets. So here's a stun immune, you can't be pushed or pulled. There's a reverse DP in there. Reverse DP of course is the auto dodge, the speed dodge. I don't really know what the community term for it is. I call it either reverse DP or auto dodge, depending on how I'm feeling. Reading coming out from D. A lot of cards in Zain's hand. Don't know how many are in deck, but oh no, the reading hits. Is the reading on the dive? Will just be a grass for 3. But mitigates the reading threat, mitigates the EX superior threat as well. Honestly, well worth it. Gets some distance as well, which Orie can close quickly, but Orie doesn't like distance, as we see some Orie gaming there. And here's the defensive, +1 armor, +1 guard, but more importantly now advance or retreat 1. And now back to Orie after Merkava has just decided to prepare. Just making sure that it's recording, because I had a mishap recently where it wasn't recording and I lost like 20 minutes of word footage that I had to re-record. And it's not the same when you're not seeing the game for the first time, and I believe I actually didn't see the game, or if I did, it was so long ago that I actually don't remember it at all. If you can see, I am in the lobby right now as Orie sets up for an EX. Is this known? EX with armor. What is this? Like EX command order? And command order doesn't make sense. Have we seen assault come out from Orie? Yes, no, yes. I have no idea for the life of me what this is. This is almost assuredly deducible though. It is the EX assault and will get caught by the I agitate. So D will reveal the top card and then push however much power that is. So we'll reveal the I Rampage. We'll push 4. Decent-ish trade for Orie. Decent trade overall for Orie, just that she was down a lot of life anyway. As here comes the To Me command order. Here's another reason why you can't keep out Orie advance 4. As we see the instant flight boost come out from Merkava. So the instant flight combo is with Eye Defile. So basically how it works is you play your Eye Defile, costs 1 gauge, and then you fly across the board. As we see a Slithering now boosted from D as well. Basically, sorry, I lost my train of thought. The instant flight boost combo with Eye Defile is that you pay the cheap cost, and then you fly across the board, and then suddenly that X value, which is the power, becomes a lot higher. Looks like the Tech 8 coming out for the instant flight. And Zain will be striking now as well. Looks like he... Oh, I hope he's not gearing up for another EX. I feel like he doesn't have an EX left in his deck, but maybe I'm misremembering. Of course, that Slithering still in play before Advance or Retreat 1. So, like, a card like... That makes a card like Spike really interesting at range 1. That's the card I always look out for, personally. Although there are almost assuredly different options there that are not Spike. But Spike's the scary one, especially when you're down 6 life, heading towards the late game. And D only has 3 cards in hand, so might not even have the option. Although he was telegraphing the Eye Defile, maybe this is Orie in response is going to be playing something slow. Maybe he doesn't really have a slow counter. Maybe he doesn't have that Spike in hand then. Although like a really good slow counter is actually that Eye Rampage. It's like a functional mid speed. That Eye Resentfully Rage will also be a slow, but it's the focus coming out from Orie. So Eye Resentfully Rage would push range 5, however, unable to because of focus. Would be an even trade. Looks like even trade for 4 for 4. I don't remember what its after is. Does Eye Resentfully Rage return to hand? Optionally, maybe it does. So maybe that's what D's deciding whether he wants to return to hand. Honestly, a 4 for 4 trade here isn't bad for Merkava. I think you take those, even though you spend the 3 gauge for it. Actually, maybe spending the 3 gauge for it is kind of sad. You do get the positioning afterward due to the boost on coffee. Forget the actual. It's like I don't know. Drink coffee. Sorry, that's an awful joke. Nope, and D decides to gauge it, and we'll probably just change cards here. Yeah, get a little bit of a refill. Opts to keep the 1 gauge in, which makes sense for Eye Defile shenanigans. Just always hold that button over your opponent's head at all times. It's an 8-speeder. Why would you not ever do that? Back to Orie, who has a lot of gauge. Only a 6er in gauge for backside Orie shenanigans. And a couple 4s as well for Rest in Peace, I guess. Is it called Rest in Peace? Yeah, I believe it's called Rest in Peace. The 1-2 106. If you're hit +6 power, those assaults and the focuses will perform well with that. Although it does telegraph that card a little bit. You just gotta sneak that in when your opponent's not paying attention. As here comes the reading coming out from Orie. Her Orie's first reading whiffed because that was the turn 1 reading. Looks like this one also whiffs. That is incredibly sad. We don't really know what was called. It looks like they didn't really do it in the chat. As I say, was that me afterward? I don't know. That's funny. Looks like the call out was like a fast attack, so that way Orie could hit with the Sacred Arrow, and said D plays the range 1 I Breathe Out, and now we'll mix up Wild Swing almost assuredly. That's funny. Actually chooses to step forward. So that way that Breathe Out will retreat back to range 4 after the fact. Of course, Mix Up also draws the card. Does Orie have the answer? It's Rest and Block, which will not hit, but will mitigate all the damage for 2 gauge. Don't know why does the Ceiling Hop on wasn't spent. I guess it doesn't matter. Looks like Zane's just going for a big CC anyway. Okay, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, never mind. 3 known cards in hand. Hopefully a sweep and a focus. I don't know if both dives are down. I feel like only 1 dive is down. Zane will draw 3 off the top. Hopefully shuffles his hand. Yeah, there we go. Nicely done. Back to Merkava, who's at range 4. Can in theory just wild swing the breathe out. I mean, it's only 3 damage, but yeah, D just going for that. It's a speed 5. Not much really beats that. It will also dodge the succession from Orie, which only hits 3 to 5 as well. No gauge for Luminous Embrace, so that's not an option for Orie either. I think Orie just kind of has to eat this. Opts to block, so we'll mitigate the damage at the very least. Mitigates only 2 of the damage, opts to take the 1. Orie now finds herself at range 6, but like we said before, Orie has so many different ways to advance, and it's season 6, so there are also 2 normals that advance as well in Grasp and Assault. And here comes that known command order, which will advance 4. Merkava in turn boosting that I don't know how to pronounce that word. Jormungandr? Let me know. So the normals have additional range, plus 1 to 2 range on the normals. And I believe that after is if you don't hit a normal, you can return it to your hand. As Orie boosts and moves to range 1 with that Divine Thrust, plus 1 power. So yeah, unfortunately for Merkava, the only normal that hits is like dive. Because you dive over, and then you hit him on the backswing, basically. So, like, could strike with a dive in theory, but it's a little bit telegraphed. Here comes the wild boost from Merkava, choosing to advance, and of course flips the block, advances 0. Sad times. Very funny, though. Very funny. As here comes the strike coming out from Orie. Block here not looking terrible. From Merkava's perspective, get rid of the normal as well. Okay, no, Merkava going for the dive play and hits the dive, beating the sweep, which was supposed to beat the Eye Defile. Oh my, we called it, but we didn't believe in it. But D made it happen. That dive will cross over, hit for 5, and that is just sad days for Orie. Who's now staring down the barrel of that Eye Defile as well. Orie will boost Assault, moving to range 2. Of course, like we said, we can't keep Orie down, but Orie doesn't really have too much life to work with anymore, unfortunately. I guess D didn't really want to give up all his gauge to strike with the Eye Defile. Of course, there were options. I think there were 2 focuses and 1 block left in Orie's deck, so chose not to strike with that Eye Defile at range 3. Anyways, back to D here. Apologies, just took a big swig of water there. Change card 6. Interesting enough, not keeping that Eye Defile. Change card 7 to get rid of unknown normal, I guess. Oh, the bottom card wasn't known. I guess in theory you could just draw the Eye Defile again. So basically you're just dictating your deck to make a mix up. So this is not a terrible play. Drops the Grasp. Back to zain here. Opting to strike. Will he lose the Eye Defile? Or is this something else? EX Stroll Through at speed 6 will beat the spike, and that is game 3 going to D. Nicely done from D here. Really able to control Orie. But yeah, not much time left on the video. Looks like I cut this one short. We'll see you for game 4. Bye-bye.